Is your company owned or controlled by an overseas legal entity, such as a non-UK company or other legal entity? This video explains how to identify your company's People with Significant Control, PSC, if it's owned or controlled by an overseas legal entity. Many overseas legal entities will not qualify as PSCs and should not be entered on the PSC register unless they meet the conditions of being relevant and registrable. To check if your company meets the conditions of being relevant and registrable, watch our video on UK companies owned by a UK legal entity. If the legal entity does not meet the relevant and registrable conditions, the company must look at the ownership and control of the overseas legal entity to identify any individuals or relevant legal entity (RLE) who has a majority stake in the legal entity. Someone will hold a majority stake if they hold a majority of the voting rights in the legal entity, so more than 50% of the voting rights, are a member of the legal entity and have the right to appoint or remove the majority of its board of directors, are a member of the legal entity and control the majority of the voting rights by agreement with other shareholders or members, or have the right to exercise or actually exercise dominant influence or control over the legal entity. If there is an individual or RLE with a majority stake in the overseas legal entity, you must enter their details on the PSC register. Their natures of control should reflect the overseas legal entity's ownership of shares and voting rights in the company, as they indirectly control these. Let's look at an example. An overseas legal entity, Company B Limited, owns 100% of the shares and voting rights in a UK company, Company A Limited. Company B Limited does not trade on any regulated market and does not meet the registrable and relevant conditions. This means Company B Limited should not be entered on the PSC register. Company A has looked through their ownership chain and identified that Harry owns 60% of the shares and voting rights in Company B Limited. Harry qualifies as a PSC and they hold a majority stake in Company B Limited, and they must be entered on the PSC register for Company A Limited. Harry's natures of control should reflect that they indirectly control 100% of the shares and voting rights in Company A Limited. The company must keep looking through their ownership chain until they find an individual or RLE with a majority stake. If no one has a majority stake, the company must enter a statement on the PSC register to say that they do not have a PSC. If your company has a more complicated ownership structure, please refer to our guidance on our website or seek legal advice. The easiest way to send us your PSC information is to file it online. It's quick, it's free, and you just need to register an account.